Morning, beloveds. Okay. The trick is to get the camera pointed at an appropriate angle without it tipping over. All right. It is July 27th. It is hot as all get out there. It was hot enough that I actually gave him the option, do you want to go for a run or do you want to go for a bike ride? And he wanted to do the run, and I was like, all right. He promises we'll go for a bike ride on Friday, and I was like, so, yes. All right. It is July 27th. Our title is, I Receive My God. Ask, and it shall be given you. Seek, and ye shall find. Knock, and it shall be opened unto you. And that is Matthew 7:7. How can we receive what the mind refuses to entertain? Should we not then consciously develop the ability to receive more? We make life little and mean and limit our own possibilities when we refuse to accept the whole gift of God. We should open our consciousness to a receptivity of the divine. There will never be any point of saturation because God is infinite. We cannot contract the infinite, but we can expand the finite. The word is very nigh unto thee, in thy mouth and in thy heart. Realizing that God has placed the power of life in my own mind today, I am resolved to use this power in accord with the nature of the divine mind. I shall no longer look for God in some distant place, but shall find him directly at the center of my own being. Today I ask and know that I shall receive. Today I seek and know that I shall find. Today I knock and know that it shall be opened unto me. But what is it that I ask for? What is it that I really seek? It is to discover God in everything, to see the divine manifest in everyone, to come to close and conscious communion with life. Today, then, I receive the gift of God in its fullness, unstinted and complete. Alrighty then. I was wondering about that because the title, I was looking at the title going, I receive my God, versus what I was expecting you to say was I receive my good. But how can we receive that which the mind refuses to entertain? How many times have we done a treatment or made a prayer and immediately negated that treatment or prayer by saying, I don't deserve that? Well, why don't you deserve that? What makes you think that you don't deserve what you just prayed for? And I can't answer that for you. All I can do is ask you that question. Why don't you believe that you deserve that? I can tell you that you are a beloved child of God. I can tell you that the divine mind, that spirit, that Atman, that the quantum field, and maybe not the quantum, I have a hard time believing that the quantum field wants you to be happy. But if you look at nature, would you say that nature is unhappy? And I'm not talking about nature that interacts with humans. I'm talking when you get completely away from human interaction, when we observe animals from afar, when we observe uninterfered with land that is growing as it will, would you say that they're happy? Elephants, dolphins, they're higher on the intelligence scores as animals go, and they seem genuinely happy most of the time. So why then would we assume that nature doesn't want us to be happy? I mean, those are prime examples right there, that nature tends towards happiness. So if you are a beloved child of God, you also deserve that happiness. So then why do you negate what you ask for by telling yourself you don't deserve it? Because there's nothing that you could do that would negate God's love for you. Because God can't do anything but love. So that's the question. That's the question. And that if you do a treatment and then immediately negate it, then that's the question you have to answer for yourself. Why don't I believe it? And then go and look around and look at the world, ignoring humanity, because we have our issues, and see that nature, that creation trends towards joy, trends towards happiness, trends towards, that. And see that frequently we get in our own way. And that's what Ernest says. Ernest and Raymond say, we make life little and mean and limit our own possibilities when we refuse to accept the whole gift of God. So that's where the question starts. All right, so July 27th, I receive my God. Ask, and it shall be given to you. Seek, and ye shall find. Knock, and it shall be opened to you. Matthew 7:17. Ask, and it shall be given to you. Are you willing to ask for it? Seek, and ye shall find. What are you looking for? Are you actually out there looking? Or are you dreaming? Because there's nothing wrong with dreams as long as you get up and go and seek it. Seeking it implies a journey. It means getting out and going and looking and going and doing in the process. Seeking implies a journey. Knock, and it shall be opened unto you. Are you willing to risk the knock? Because door's not going to open. That's what they say. If you don't at least ask, the answer is always going to be no. How can we receive what the mind refuses to entertain? If you can imagine it, you can have it. And if you can't imagine it, how can you possibly have it? Should we not then consciously develop the ability to receive more? We make life little and mean and limit our own possibilities when we refuse to accept the whole gift of God. The whole gift of God. And that comes with responsibility. God can do through you. God can do for you what God can do through you. So if you're not willing to believe, seek, and knock, not a whole lot God can do. You are your own agency. We should open our consciousness to a receptivity of the divine. There will never be any point of saturation because God is infinite. There will never be any point of saturation because God is infinite. There is nothing that is out of the realm of possibility. The only limitation is you. The limits you yourself put on it. There are no limits in God. We cannot contract the infinite, but we can. Oh, wait. Let me try that again. Let me repronounce that word. We can't contract the infinite. We can't make the infinite smaller, but we can expand the finite. The existence that we have in this mortal form is finite. We are not finite. The essence of us is infinite because it comes from that infinite source. But this mortal form is finite, but we can expand it because we come from an infinite source. All right. Open quotes. The word is very nigh unto thee, and in thy mouth and in thy heart. Close quotes. It is not a quote I'm familiar with. But the word is near because it's in your mind and in your heart. Realizing that God has placed the power of life in my own mind. Today, I am resolved to use the power in accord with the nature of the divine mind. I have done my work. I know the divine mind. Do I know all of it? No, but I know how to use it because it's my mind as well, which means I have the power. I was built with the power. You were built with the power. It is already in your mind, but you have to use it consciously. I shall no longer look for God in some distant place, but shall find God directly at the center of my own being. The kingdom of God is within. If you are so busy looking for God out there, you're never going to find God. Or rather, you'll never find the complete God. Because if you are doing the work and reading the sacred literature and doing the spiritual practices, they are going to continue to point you back within. Not out, within. So all of the work that we do points us back within. So I'm not saying not to do the work. I'm not saying not to read the sacred literature and to listen to the speakers and listen to the music and do the meditations. But what I'm suggesting is that everything that you do will point you back in, because that's where God is. Now, everything around us is made of God, but if you want to contact God yourself, then this is where you go. Not there. Here. Within yourself. Within that center of you where nothing has ever been wrong, that place where you meet the unfiltered God. I shall no longer look for God in some distant place, but shall find God directly at the center of my own being. Today I ask and know that I shall receive. It requires faith and belief on our part. Today I seek and know that I shall find. Today I seek, which means I am willing to take the journey. Seek doesn't mean sit. Seek means go out and look. It means go out and do, and in the process of doing you will find. I knock and know that it shall be opened unto me. But what is it that I ask for? And he's pretty direct here. Ernest usually isn't this direct. But what is it that I ask for? What, in the end, am I looking for? In all of the things that I ask for, all of the things that I seek, all of the things that I'm knocking on, what am I looking for? What are we looking for? Well, Ernest's answer is, it is to discover God in everything. To see the divine manifest in everyone. To come into a close and conscious communion with life. So whatever else it is that we are doing, what we are looking for is God. And we look for God within ourselves, and we look to see the divine reflected back at us in everyone around us and everything around us. That's what we're looking for. The close, conscious communion with life. What we seek is to live in peace, in joy, in harmony, to experience. Today, then, I receive the gift of God in its fullness, unstinted and complete. So the mission today, should we choose to accept it? Wow. I mean, it's that last line. To receive the gift of God in its fullness, unstinted and complete. To see the divine manifest everywhere. All around us, within the beings that we meet. To see that close, conscious communion with life itself. That's the mission. The mission is to live. The mission is to live to the fullness of experience. What is it that we're here to do? Our only true grand purpose is to be authentically ourselves. Everything else is icing. And do not get me wrong, I absolutely love icing. I do love icing. But whatever grand purpose that you think you're here for, your purpose is to live an experience. Everything else is window dressing. All right, beloveds, I am going to move into the process of my day. And I'm going to encourage you, as I always do, to do something loving for yourself, do something kind for yourself, do something compassionate for yourself, whatever that looks like. Whatever that looks like. I definitely will encourage you to drink plenty of water. It is July, and it is hot. So please drink plenty of water. Take care of yourself. If you do decide to engage your mind and body outside, do it early. And I do encourage you to get a face full of sun. 5-10 minutes, first thing in the morning, as early as you can, get that sun. And it will reset you. It will reset you. It will encourage you to have more energy and hopefully get a better night's sleep too. So, please do know you are a beloved child of God in whom God is well pleased, always and forever. That is a state of grace, and the benefit of grace is that there is nothing that we do to earn it, and there is nothing we can do to get out of it. Grace is granted. So while we are moving through the process of our day, I do encourage you, open the windows of your soul. Allow the breath of heaven to remind you, you do live in heaven now. It is all around you. Everywhere around you is God's stuff. All of the people that you meet are children of God. They are beloved children of God, as you are a beloved child of God. So recognize that within yourself. And know, even when we don't always act like children of God, that's who we are. So hold that space for each other so that we can remember who we are. All right, beloveds, I am moving on. It's Tuesday. I have no idea if there's anything happening or not on the center. I will tell you, if there's not, then you have 2 YouTube channels that you can go check out. The Creative Life Spiritual Center YouTube channel. Those are sorted into playlists. All of our guest speakers, all of the people who speak regularly, they all have their own playlists. So if there's anyone in particular you want to see, Reverend David, Reverend Arthur, me, Jesse, who's most of it, check the channel out. Check the channel out. The soul sessions, I'm partial to the last soul session because my husband was part of it. And then the Running Rev Ryan YouTube channel, there are almost 500 videos up on that. So there's going to be something for everybody, I'm quite sure. But do what you need to do to take care of yourself and make it a good day. Make it a good day. All right? See God reflected around you. Recognize that you are meeting the children of God when you encounter people. And most importantly, recognize that you are a child of God. So today, receive God. Whatever that means to you. Okay, beloveds. I will be back with you at 9 a.m. tomorrow. Reverend David should be around 5. And have a good day. Know that you're loved.